For years, Bugatti was the final boss of hypercars. If you had a Bugatti, there was basically nothing above you. Then, Koenigsegg showed up and quietly started doing everything better. Faster cars, smarter engineering, less weight, more innovation. And the uncomfortable truth is, Bugatti still hasn't fully caught up.
Now, before Bugatti fans get angry in the comments, this isn't me saying Bugatti makes bad cars. The Chiron is still one of the most ridiculous production cars ever made. But here's the problem. Bugatti got comfortable. For a long time, Bugatti's entire identity was, look how fast and expensive this is. And to be fair, it worked. The Veyron completely changed the car industry when it launched in 2005. 1,001 horsepower, quad-turbo W16, over 400 kilometers per hour. At the time, those numbers sounded fake. Meanwhile, Koenigsegg was still this weird little Swedish company most people couldn't even pronounce properly. But while Bugatti focused on power and luxury, Koenigsegg focused on innovation. And over time, that difference started becoming really obvious.
What makes this rivalry interesting is how different the founders are. Bugatti today is backed by massive money in corporate power. Volkswagen poured insane resources into making Bugatti dominant. And honestly, that's why the Veyron even existed in the first place. That car reportedly lost millions of dollars per unit, which is crazy. Imagine building a car company where every sale loses enough money to buy a mansion. But Volkswagen didn't care. The Veyron wasn't about profit. It was about proving a point. Now compare that to Christian von Koenigsegg. This guy started Koenigsegg in Sweden at 22 years old after watching a movie about building race cars. That's literally it. No giant corporation, no billion-dollar backup, just obsession. And honestly, that obsession still shows in every Koenigsegg today. Bugatti feels corporate. Koenigsegg feels personal. That's a huge difference.
There was a time when Bugatti genuinely felt untouchable. The Veyron wasn't just fast, it was an event. People forget how insane that car looked in 2005. Most supercars back then still felt mechanical and raw. Then Bugatti arrived with this smooth, luxury spaceship that could casually hit 400 kilometers per hour while the driver sat in air-conditioned comfort. And the engineering behind it was ridiculous. The W16 engine alone sounded like something engineers would reject for being too complicated. 16 cylinders, 4 turbochargers, around 1,000 horsepower back when most Ferraris had nearly half of that. And somehow it worked. Reliably. That's the crazy part. But Bugatti's biggest strength slowly became its weakness. Weight. The Veyron and Chiron are unbelievably heavy cars. The Chiron weighs almost 2 tons. That's massive for a hypercar. And eventually, lighter cars started catching up. Then Koenigsegg started getting serious. The Agera changed everything. Because suddenly, this tiny Swedish company wasn't just competing anymore. They were winning. And they weren't winning with massive engines or luxury interiors. They were winning with smarter engineering. The Agera RS eventually hit 447 kilometers per hour, officially becoming the fastest production car in the world. That moment mattered more than people realize, because Bugatti had spent years building this image of being unbeatable. Then Koenigsegg broke the record with a smaller engine and a lighter car. That hurt. And Koenigsegg kept doing things differently. While Bugatti kept using the same W16 formula, Koenigsegg kept experimenting. Different transmissions, different aerodynamics, different engine technology. Even their doors look engineered by someone who hates normality. And weirdly enough, that approach started working. The engine philosophy between these two brands tells you everything. Bugatti's W16 is basically brute force engineering. Huge engine, huge power, huge fuel consumption. It's impressive, but also kind of old school now. Koenigsegg went the opposite direction. Smaller V8 engines, lighter setups, more efficient power delivery. And somehow they still make absurd horsepower. The Jesko makes around 1,600 horsepower on E85 fuel. From a V8. That's insane efficiency.
And then there's the transmission. Koenigsegg built something called the light-speed transmission. No traditional flywheel, extremely fast gear changes, multiple gear shifts instantly. Meanwhile, Bugatti still feels more traditional. And this is where the criticism starts. A lot of enthusiasts feel Bugatti became too safe, too polished, too focused on luxury, while Koenigsegg still feels like a company taking risks. And car people usually respect risk more than comfort. This is the part Bugatti fans hate hearing. A lot of younger enthusiasts simply find Koenigsegg more exciting now, because Koenigsegg feels unpredictable. Every new car they reveal introduces something weird or innovative. Free valve technology, crazy aero systems, wild hybrid setups. Even the Gemera confused people. A 4-seat family hypercar making nearly 1,700 horsepower. That sounds stupid until you see it work. Meanwhile, Bugatti's newer cars sometimes feel like upgrades instead of revolutions. And when you're charging millions for hypercars, people expect revolution, not refinement. Even online, you can see the shift happening. Years ago, Bugatti was the dream car for almost everybody. Now, a lot of enthusiasts would pick a Jesko over a Chiron without hesitation. Not because the Chiron is bad, but because the Koenigsegg feels more alive, more daring, more special. Honestly, Bugatti's biggest issue might be identity. Because what exactly is Bugatti now? Luxury? Top speed? Engineering showcase? Koenigsegg feels clearer. They want to innovate, push boundaries, build crazy stuff. And people connect with that vision. Bugatti still builds incredible cars, but Koenigsegg builds conversations. And in today's internet era, that matters more than ever, especially for younger audiences. People don't just want expensive anymore. They want interesting. The funny thing is, Bugatti losing this rivalry might actually help them. Competition forces companies to evolve. And now that Rimac is involved with Bugatti, things could get really interesting. Because if Bugatti combines its luxury and presence with Rimac's technology, Koenigsegg might finally have a real fight again. But right now, Koenigsegg feels hungrier. And hunger usually wins. Not immediately, not loudly, but eventually. And that's exactly what's happening in the hypercar world right now.